Hello, hello. Testing mic. Can you hear me? Can you watch the screen? Thank you, Alcas. I was checking the YouTube also. I'm trying to do a live in YouTube, and not so much. I thought there were more people connected, but not so much people join this chat. It surprised me because we are a lot of people in the Discord. Give me 1 second. So we're okay. So it's now 2:53 New York time, and if you want to ask something, Balkas, you can text me in the chat, so I can answer you. It's Friday, so activity is very low right now, and market did the movement, already finished the movement, so it's just, this session is just for like analysis of the market and some questions and like an overview of the market and how the week performed, how price performed during the week. In this first week of the month of September, I think I need to record this. Oh no, I think it's recording YouTube. Yeah. So as you know, as you may know, sometimes or most of the times, the first week of the month, any month, we have non-farm payroll news. This is a high impact news, and we have a low probability during the first week of the any month. That means we are not so open to not so open to high probability setups. So we almost try to keep calm and try always to avoid trading before Wednesday. Wednesday from 9:30 when the markets open. From that moment to Friday, the probabilities of a good setup they descend. They are very low. Market is very difficult to read, so during that period try to avoid, and if you find a setup, be very careful. So the best moment is from Monday and to Wednesday until 9:30. Okay, you can go midday New York time, but after that it's not recommended. And the first week of any month, so keep that in mind, okay? Because as you can see, this week also was a clear example of how this works, no? I don't know how your trades were. I don't know which setups you were looking for, but yeah, keep that in mind. As you can see, Balkas, you're in the private group. I don't know if you saw this in advance. I was checking the gold setup. I saw this range, right? The retracement was beautiful. I don't know if you were aware of this, Balkas. I shared this analysis in the group, in the private group. And so the thing is, like, we have this beautiful range with a beautiful retracement, and this is very important. Where is this going? The price to the retracement of the price. Where it's going? It's going, first of all, it's going to a discount zone. Okay, we have discount and we have premium. So this is important. Okay, and after a range, in this case to the upside, we expect a retrace to the downside to the discount zone. So anything that happens in discount zone, we are looking for an entry. Okay, and bullish and long entry. So what happened here? We have several things that put in line, no? So we have a 4-hour fair value gap. Okay, if you go to 4-hour time frame, right, you see the imbalance, right? We had an imbalance here, and price very beautifully. I like when this happens, when price, we have a visit to the midpoint of the imbalance, of the 4-hour imbalance, and we have a nice rejection. Okay, so price is showing no interest in going lower from this midpoint. This is very important. Also, 4-hour time frame, that gives us quite a lot secureness in the setup. Okay, so this was my first indicative to be very to be aware of this situation of a long entry. The next thing, if you do a Fibonacci and you put the option to mark the optimal trade entry zone, which is this 062, 062, 079, this area. Okay, you will see we didn't touch it, but was very close. Oops. Oh, sorry. We went inside. Sorry. No, like this. Sorry, like this. I missed this low candle. Okay, it didn't went inside the optimal trade zone entry, but doesn't matter. You know, sometimes just the fact that it's below the 0.5 and is inside the imbalance, this 4-hour fair value gap, this already is indicative to be aware of an entry, of a long entry. Okay, so what happened after we have this macro analysis? Okay, we go to low time frame. As you can see, I have my days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Well, this is very easy. This is like an indicator. It's called Everything ICT Everything by Cold Brew Rush. It's for free and it's very useful. Once you have it, you put the New York time zone, okay, which also is here, and there you go. So once you have this analysis in the macro time frame, and you later can go to lower time frames. Okay, so I was expecting higher prices for gold. Okay, let me check one thing. If you go to lower time frames, you can see better things. Okay, this rejection for me was very important. How price went down. This is like a stop hand, right? Price just did this drop to take all these stop losses. Okay, people who was taking profit from here and didn't close here or didn't take some portion of the profit, they have the stop losses here, so they were out. Okay, that's the market is doing, is taking these stop losses and of course loses. So be aware of this thing. Be aware of we are on discount. We are on discount zone, okay, which is from here to here. We are inside this 4-hour imbalance, very next to the midpoint, and the fact that the rejection was almost in the midpoint, like suddenly went out from here, rejected. That's very, very indicative that is not interested in continue lower. Okay, this drop just was like a stop hand. So after price dropped, okay, rejected, and you can see here create an inversion fair value gap, and from here to here we have a fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap, but price just went in a very strong manner and just close this gap in one candle. This is very important. This is a signature of the algorithm, and this became an inversion fair value gap now. Inversion fair value gap. So it used to be a fair value gap, normal, but this bullish candle just went showing a lot of strength to the upside, and it closed with one way. You see, one way up, and it closed completely this imbalance. And now we treat this like a inversion fair value gap. Okay, and so from here, when you have an inversion fair value gap and after the rejection, okay, this is important, after the rejection price shows no interest to going lower, so you treat this inversion fair value gap as a support. So once price comes to visit this level, okay, you are bullish. Okay, so an entry could be you enter here and your stop loss will be here, and you can aim for this high. This is a 2.37 risk reward ratio, or you can aim for this high, which I was pointing in the private group. Okay, so this is one entry you could do. This is an option. Okay, if you go to 1 hour, you also have another inversion fair value gap. You see how price didn't respect this fair value gap, this 1 hour fair value gap, and just go through. So your treat is like a support now. Okay, so you have that in mind. And who is Balkas? Okay. So if you have any questions, just you can text in the chat and I will answer. Okay. And yeah, so that's the thing, no? We have this support now. This imbalance became now a support for price to going higher. And yeah, that was my point, my setup. I was from here, I entered a long position, and I was aiming for this high and also for this red line zone, which I'm expecting price will reach at some point. Now it's like just fooling around, but this level is just came from here. When you do the Fibonacci, you have some options. So this is an extension of, okay, this is a mathematical, you know, the algorithms are a mathematical thing. So this is just an extension is 0.25. It's the midpoint of this range. This is a 0.5 projection. So this is like mathematical levels that price tends to, a lot of times you will see this price reaching those levels. Okay, so that's, I'm aiming for this. I close my position like here, and I want to keep up my position during the weekend, so I close the positions. But I was aiming for this, but I saw people, I saw the price very like having trouble to reach it. So I don't want to wait, because I was already in profit, no? But yeah, so this is one trade I took, and I'll close this. Yeah, so guys, as I said before, if you want to say something, you're more than welcome. I think I'm expecting a drop next week, or let me check what we have next week. This is 5. Next week we have CPI on Tuesday. Monday is a day we'll have nothing. Maybe I can put the information here. Give me 1 second. Doesn't allow me. Maybe with this. Okay guys, so this is This is the high impact news for next week. And we have CPI on Tuesday. Monday we have nothing, so I try to avoid Monday and try to avoid Friday. Okay, this is important. And if you see something very like if some setup that that match that respect your script, like how the setup should be, okay, go ahead. But the Mondays and Fridays are tend to be a low probability days to trade. Okay, so just be careful. And then Tuesday we have CPI. Wednesday we have nothing. So this will be interesting. I also very careful the days we have news. Price tend to not to be so clear. Not to be so clear. So best days next week, Tuesday and Thursday to trade. Okay, these are the best days for me. Of course, you can trade every day, but that is doesn't mean you will win or you will lose. No, it's just we're trying to find the best days with higher probabilities, and in this case is Tuesday and Thursday, because Monday, Wednesday is no news, so price could be just fooling around, doing like hide and destroy, seek and destroy scenarios, like just fooling around and doing these kind of movements like this, like taking lows, taking highs, taking lows, taking highs, and this will destroy you. Okay, so that's something we don't want to be inside. Okay, so yeah, and so you have some questions, guys? It was, we said, seek and destroy. You mean Balkas this week? Yeah, I have a YouTube channel right now. I'm doing a live. I'm trying to grow, It's a bit difficult because I also don't do it so often, but I'm trying to. I also have a private channel where I'm more active. But yeah. So thank you to you, man. Let's check. Yeah, that's exactly Valkas. This is high. This is as you can destroy scenarios. No, so you can destroy situations where price is taking high and lows. And for example, it happened this week. And for example, it depends how you trade. Also, you will see it more in lower time frames if you are a scalper, for example. But for example, I know that the Thursday was horrible. If you go to 5 minutes, for example, look this shit. This is 5 minutes on GBP USD. It's like highs, lows, lows, highs. It's like taking highs. It's like a bit like messy, you know. There's no like a proper direction. You can see it took the high. Okay. Then it took this low. This low was intact. But inside, if you go inside, if you're scalping in 1 minute, for example, you will go crazy. Thursday. If you are scalping, you will go crazy. High, low, high, low, low. You see? It's like there's no... And also, if you are not so in a lower time frame, you will see prices just fooling around with no direction. You see? During all this moment, price was just like fooling around, like just doing nothing, just destroying people inside. You said, tell us about your learning. How much does it take to be profitable? Wow, it takes a lot, man. It takes a lot because the problem is the media. You saw a lot of people that sells you that this is easy and it's quickly and with some strategy or some algorithm or some some, how you call this, some robot, some trading bot or whatever, you will be profitable in very short time period, in a very short period of time. This is not true. So it requires at least for me 3 years. Since I start in this world. Also, I didn't have like a teacher. I tried a teacher, but it was I tried like 2-3 classes. The guy, well, wasn't my thing. I didn't feel was that the path with the teacher. And I tried everything, like a lot of concepts and any concept you can imagine. And then one day I remember I saw a video like this thing of ICT, and it was a Spanish guy talking about this concept. So from that video I went to the source, to the ICT videos, and I saw a lot of videos. And the problem is you have to be careful because there is a lot of information that you need like, I think maximum 8-7 things. Easy concept, it's not so difficult. And then with experience of watching the markets, how the narrative is made, and yeah, but 3 years minimum, I think. And then from that point you're starting to be in this balance point, not profitable, but you're like in a midpoint, you know. You're not so bad, but you're not also like living only for trading, you know. So I'm in this point right now. I'm like more mature, and I know what I'm looking, and I'm very secure right now, you know. And yeah, so I think I'm kindly like growing, so this is important. I never lose my ambition or my motivation, because I think it's possible to do it, you know. And yeah, the thing is that there's a lot of factors. There's a psychology factor that is very huge. Depends how your character, like a person. And if you're a person like more like cold, and I'm very impulsive, so for me that's a handicap. But I'm learning to this. I'm learning to just be more disciplined. Thank you, man. I'm right now. I'm trading a personal account. Yeah. I trade some prop firms, but I think at the end, I think the best is your money, because you have to wait for, you know how it works, no? 80% for you, 10% whatever, and you have to wait 1 week. It's like, I think the best, if you can, the best thing is trade your own money, because you are the owner of anything. You have to wait for any conditions. And right now I'm doing this thing of called like it's called like how is called this? Give me 1 second. Darwin X 0. It's like I'm making like a, how you call this, like a trading. Darwin X 0. Track record. That's the word. Yeah. So I'm trading right now that Darwin 0, because I want to doing a track record, so I can't how you call this, I can be interesting for people who wants to invest on me, because in this world, in this platform, investors can put some money in you, so you can grow. This is my profile, I think it's called. And then right now I don't know if you can see it, maybe it's close, because I just started this week. And it's like you need like 20 days to be open, but right now I'm doing like a 12% profit in 6 days. Okay. Recording. So let's go back. I hope you're enjoying, guys, this live stream. You're doing a trade record for people who wants to see your real. Yeah, I think this is important. This is a track record, so it's in a long run, it needs time to grow. But my objective is to do a good track record, and so I don't know, maybe 2 years, if I'm still growing, slowly, because this is very slow. Maybe in less, maybe in this year, or investors can watch my track record, and they can put some money, and I have a small percentage of for me. It's not so much. It's like 50%, but you can manage like a lot of money. Depends if you're good, no? But you can manage, and I see some people managing like 5 million, 20 million. And imagine you 50% of, I don't know, if you do a profit of 100k, 50% is a lot of money. For example, 50% of 100k is 15,000. So it's not so bad, no? 15,000 euros. Yeah. Well, that's a lot of money, right? But if you're managing a lot of money, like 1 million, I think it's not so crazy to do that profit in 2 or 3 months. Then so yeah, if you have any questions, you speak about 5-7 concepts to learn. Yeah, for example, I will write here what for me is important, so you can take note. And I can tell you, for example, fair value gaps or imbalance. Imbalances means fair value gaps means weeks, okay, and means also how you call this when you have liquidity void. Yeah, liquidity void, or what's the other name? Liquidity void is when you have these spaces with no volume at all. Okay, so you can have liquidity voids. I will show you. You can treat all these things like imbalances. Okay, for example, a liquidity void. Let me see if I find some. Maybe it's a bit tricky now, but we're lucky. For example, in the cafe, there's a lot of their coffee. Oops. You see, this is a liquidity void. From here to here, there's no volume, and there's no volume at all, you know. So this is a liquidity void, and you treat this like an imbalance, right? Okay. The same thing like a fair value gap. Also the wicks. The wicks also are. I mean the wicks like when are huge wicks. Okay, like this one, with long wicks. Okay, when you have long wicks, this is not so much, but you see this when the body is small and you have long wicks, you can treat this like an imbalance. You can do the same thing like an imbalance, like an fair value gap. You can measure the both sides, the top and the high and the bottom, and you can check the midpoint like an fair value gap, right? You can check also all these things, right, that are important to understand how prices are reacting and the narrative of the price. Okay, this was 1 hour. Here, so this was from here to here, right? This is the range of that week. If you go to lower time frame, this is 5 minutes. Okay, remember this was a long week, but for me the most important weeks are the 4 hour 1 day, and from 4 hour to upside. This is small weeks like 1 hour is not so important for me. The most important are from 4 hour to up, you know, daily and weekly. Okay, these are important. Let me go out from here because this is coffee and I don't trade this, for example, in gold. So let me finish this before I... Okay, you have imbalances, you have discount and premium, which you can measure with Fibonacci. Inside, remember this discount and premium, you have the ultimate trade entry zone. You have, of course, the time. The time is very important. Time and price. What I mean with this, like the time of the week, the time of the month, the time of the day. You know that market follow like a script. It's not random, you know. So you will see movement if you depending on what are you trading, no? But if you're trading indices, you will see movement at 9:30, 10 a.m. or forex. You will see movement at some specific times of the day. London session, New York session. So this is very important for the narrative. You have the Asian session. Okay, so that's why it's very important to have your days like this. Where is this? You see, my days are in a graphic way. I can see the days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Every line indicates the days, the open of the day, because this is very important, and this is included here, power of 3 concept. Yeah, this is important. Power of 3 is this a concept that, for example, here you have 3 movements. You have accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, the manipulation, distribution. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Okay, we have accumulation, manipulation, a bit of manipulation, and then distribution. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. In this case, this day was very, very easy to spot. But you can spot these things, no? For example, let's go to Euro. You will see these things happens a lot. This accumulation, manipulation, distribution depends the context and depends your bias, no? It's like a puzzle, but for example, if you're bullish, you're expecting this watch as a fake movement because you can see also, this power of 3 concept could be in a day, but also can be in a week, the power of 3. So you have the weeks open start here on Monday. Okay, you have manipulation, and then you have distribution. This was the this is a bit tricky, really. This is not the best example, but I will try to do my best. We can say this is, I'm talking like on a weekly time frame, in a weekly perception. You can imagine this is the opening, accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. Okay, so if you're bullish on Euro USD, you're expecting manipulation, and the manipulation happens very obviously here. Price visit is 4-hour imbalance, 4-hour fair value gap imbalance. This was the manipulation of the week. Price opens, accumulates positions, manipulation, and then distribution. Okay, and as you can see, after the manipulation, we have this range here. Price did this range. If you measure this with the Fibonacci, you will see price visit the optimal trade entry zone. It was perfect. And from here, you take a long position. You can target in this or this relative equal highs. So that's the narrative and how price construct the narrative according to your bias. It gives you clues, you know. I'm very bullish. I think dollar is going lower, so that's this drop from here for me was nothing, just a fake movement, you know. All this drop was just to rebalance part of this imbalance. And if you want to do Fibonacci also from this range to this range, for example, if you go to, if you take this low and this high, this is the range, right? Look how price touch the midpoint and reject. Beautiful. That's algorithm, that's clues you want to be aware. So if you do a Fibonacci, you will see how price was visiting also not only the imbalance, but also was in discount zone and was inside the optimal trade entry zone. So this was beautiful entry from here, bullish. Remember, after a long run, retracement to discount, we have some things, we have some ingredients that are making sense. You know, you have the fair value gap and you have discount and you have the midpoint, that a lot of clues that telling you take a long position from here, right? And also we have an SMT divergence. That's another thing that is interesting to remember. If you go here, go to our, this is GBP USD and Euro USD. So the thing that for me also was a key thing, I think to make me think, okay, I have more, my opinion is more strong because this. So the thing is, we have this SMT divergence, which is when you have different symmetry. Let me do it right. This Wednesday 27, Wednesday 27. We have a lower low, and we have a higher low. And you can measure from here also, but it's the same thing. The thing is that it's not respecting the symmetry, and this is showing us, if you go, okay, sorry, this is, we need a third ingredient in this equation. Okay, the thing is that, remember this, right? Remember this. Let's go here. This is Euro USD here, up. Here we have GBP USD, the same thing, but smaller, right? And we have here, let me check this. This is Wednesday 27 here, yeah. And so let's watch this. Lower high. Okay, in a perfect environment, we want to see the correlation. The correlation is the contrary movement. You know, when the dollar index is falling, the euro USD or GBP USD is going up. So if we have a lower low here, a lower high, sorry, high, lower high, we're expecting a low, higher low. You see, it's always the opposite. But look how in GBP USD we have the it didn't respect this asymmetry. It went lower. So this is indication, this is clues, okay, for you to be aware of something is wrong, and it's just something's happened that you have to be aware, and price is telling you, okay, what happened? Dollar is not showing strength to the upside, euro is not showing strength to the downside. Which is the weird one? This is the one who is making a fake movement just to take liquidity from this low. Okay, you see all this drop, just like a stop hunt to take out this stop losses position. So this is the one which is just making like the fake movement, and you're expecting this to change direction after that, because dollar is not showing strength to the upside, euro neither, and this was just like a fake movement. Okay, and see how price keep respecting this imbalance, and how dollar keep respecting this this resistance for value gap. You see, only these wicks are okay, they can go above this area, but the bodies are the thing we are interested. If the bodies are respecting, you see all the bodies inside respecting, not going through, that's indicative of the intention of the market, of the price direction. Okay, so that's the important thing. Okay guys, I think I should stopping this stream. This will be recorded in YouTube, I think, so you can rewatch this. And Balkas, you are in the private group, so you can text me whenever you want, and I will try to help you. Okay, so guys, have a nice weekend. I hope you understand a bit what I'm saying. Slowly, if you keep practicing and watching the markets and this concept, you will start to making more familiar with it. But I hope it was kind of profitable to you. Yeah, I will show you. My channel is this one. I speak Spanish also. If you want to speak Spanish, I speak Spanish. I want to show you something else, but I need to go now. Ah, gracias amigo. ¿Hablas español? Bueno, pues envíame un mensaje y hablamos, ¿vale? Okay guys, enjoy your weekend. See you next time. See you next week.